Hi, and welcome to another episode of You Haven't Seen What? A married couple's quest to rectify the wrongs of their partner never seeing culturally relevant movies. I'm Joelle.
I'm Perry.
And this is a mini-sode.
Mini-sode.
Not a full episode because we don't have time for that, but it's a mini-sode.
Yeah, this is, the bite-sized version that if you only have 30 minutes, it's not really a synopsis or shortened version of the original. You should listen to that too. But if you only have a little bit of time, your ride is shorter today, you're got to go and drown someone, something, is going on for Halloween, you only have 30 minutes, we got a show for you.
Happy Halloween!
Yes. Halloween.
So is this a trick or a treat?
It's a little bit of both.
Oh.
I mean,
You're the trick, obviously, in this scenario. I'm Jeff's the treat.
How much do you think I'd make as a trick?
For gay men, a lot.
They do tend to like me.
They do. The older gay men love you.
They do.
They really do.
I'm a sweetie.
You are a sweetie.
So I'm a trick and a treat.
I mean, okay, whatever. I don't know how much treating are you doing. Anyway, so this is our second mini-sode, like I said.
How much do we need for rent?
Exactly. Hashtag poor grad students. It's Halloween. All right, happy Halloween. So in the spirit of Halloween, we decided to go ahead and revisit one of our earlier podcasts on April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. Get ready to party till you drop.
So this is April Fool's Day revisited.
Yes, not redone, revisited.
Reimagined.
No, it's really just our way of having fun with something we touched on before and just kind of approaching it in a new and wild way.
Without having to do all the research for a full podcast episode.
Well, yeah, that too.
I mean, that too. That for sure.
And we've definitely consumed more alcohol for this one.
You have consumed more
yes,
alcohol.
Absolutely.
I've consumed no alcohol. I am actually starving, so this should pretty much sound like a hangry me.
Ooh, those are the ones people like.
Is it?
Yeah, they love it when you throw shit at me.
I think this is also the one that you see more about our married life than we probably ever are willing to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on to married life, bed, dead, and wed. This is like a good segue. Hey. So we're talking about April Fool's Day, the 1986 version. Did they ever do a remake? I think they tried to do a remake.
They did a remake. I don't remember what year. I think we say in the episode. And they approached it in a much more standard horror movie way, I think. They didn't have some of the fun twists and turns that the original has. And we also talk in the original about the book version that it was based on, and the whole other part of the film that wasn't included.
Correct.
There's like a whole section that they shot it too, didn't they? And
right,
they just
shot
never
it, and they never included it.
Yeah, so the original version of the film that, not the one you can find because it was never released, but the original thing that they shot was this whole crazy other whole section to the end.
When we met Tom Wilson, did we talk about this?
I think we mentioned April Fool's Day, and he sort of chuckled, like he made fun. He joked. He kind of made fun of it. I can't remember. We said something about that was down between bringing this Back to the Future item we brought to be signed or something from April Fool's Day, and like, I think you made the right choice.
Now, why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Oh, jeez. I know. I mean, it's sort of iconic. His Biff role is iconic.
Yes.
Right? And I definitely don't have him down for bed, dead, and wed. I know you do, I'm sure. Freaking hell. That is my life. So, yeah, who are you betting?
Well, I think, she's a little crazy, but she always has a plan, kind of like someone I know. So I'm having to go for Muffy. So,
oh, really?
Yeah,
you bed Muffy?
Yeah, going for Muffy for Miss Deborah Foreman.
All right, so you're betting the girl who has a plan.
Yep, she's got a plan.
All right, but you're not marrying her. You're just betting her.
Oh, wait a minute. No, she's the one
she's the one you're marrying?
Yeah, I totally fucked that up.
Yeah, you did. Go ahead, bed. Who are you betting? Tom.
No, I was betting Buffy because, wait, did I get this all fucked up?
Welcome to our life. Wow.
Wow. See, I meant for this to really be interesting, and I totally screwed this up.
I mean, it's still interesting to me.
Because Deborah Foreman plays
Maybe
both
you're hungry,
Muffy
too.
and Buffy.
Yes.
And I was going to say that,
Buffy is the crazy one. Buffy is the crazy sister that was locked up and institutionalized.
Okay, then maybe I did have it flipped around, because I was going to say that you never want to, crazy with a plan, you maybe you could bed them, but I don't know if you want to wed. You can't just bed crazy, because then they're going to like totally...
So wait, who are you betting?
I don't know anymore.
But who...
Which one is the
But
one
who are you wedding?
Which was the crazy one?
The crazy one is Buffy.
Okay, so...
Allegedly, the alter ego sister
Yeah,
that didn't actually exist, the twin sister.
So, I don't know. If I just bed the crazy one, then she goes all Fatal Attraction on you and boils your pets. So
who do you bed? Perry Silcox?
Well, can't we just do both of them?
You're betting both? Oh my God.
Well,
it's
Muffy and Buffy are the same
you
person.
psycho.
Yes. So Muffy and Buffy, yes.
Oh my God. Back on Reality World. I'm betting Nikki, who's played by Deborah Goodrich. She's confident, a little hypersexualized, but she's still got a soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm betting her for sure.
All right.
Yep. See how simple that is? See how simple it can be?
Yeah, when you don't write it on a Post-it note, it's a lot more straightforward.
Who's your dad? Who you killing?
Oh, well, he's an awesome guy, and I love him, but I'm going to have to go for Tom Wilson.
You're killing Tom Wilson?
Yeah, because he gave my buddy Marty, just so much trouble, so much hell that we're just gonna have to knock him off. Plus, he does a great death scene. So in April Fool's Day, so.
You're hysterical.
I'm gonna get that son of a bitch.
But he's a great guy. He's a lot of fun.
So funny. I decided that I would kill Muffy Buffy Deborah Foreman because she's a psychopath. But then I rethought that. And I was like, Harvey, played by Jay Baker, is smug. And, he has a very money will get you everywhere approach to life. And he's a little bit of a fraidy cat. So I definitely kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rich boy fraidy cat. I kill you.
Which actor was that? That was
Jay Baker.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I go for that.
All right. Who are you wedding? I'm afraid.
Muffy and Buffy. Because they're the same person. So
you're betting and wedding them?
You bed one personality, you marry the other.
Fuck off. I know exactly where you're going there with this. You're so ridiculous. You're an asshole.
Because, under different names, we all have different personalities.
Asshole.
So
yes, it's called your id, your super ego, and your ego.
Exactly. So
which I actually have names for mine. So you're a freaking jerk right now.
I was not going to say that either. I was not revealing that information.
Wow. Whatever.
But yeah.
So I'll reveal that information.
Mm-hmm.
So I have three names.
Yes.
Joelle, Amanda, which first in my middle name. Catherine is my confirmation name growing up. So Joelle is me. I mean, it's all aspects of me pretty much.
Indeed.
She's a little shy. She's a little introverted. She's hella smart, but she tries to normalize all of that pretty much. Amanda is my wild child.
Indeed.
We don't let her go out to play.
No, because sometimes it's hard to put the genie back in the bottle.
But Amanda's a good time.
Yeah. Amanda's a party.
Amanda's a party.
If you're looking for a fun night out with everyone, Amanda's who you want coming along. But you don't want Amanda all the time because that just gets tiresome.
It does,
It's
and
exhausting.
she gets into trouble. And while Joelle has social anxiety, Amanda does not.
Right.
So
right.
it's very interesting.
But Amanda does not require alcohol. She fuels by alcohol, but she doesn't only come out via alcohol.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
This is very true. And then there's Catherine, and you really don't want to see Catherine. Catherine is
Catherine will make you cry.
Catherine will make you cry.
Yeah.
Catherine is my cutthroat debater personality. She is the anal retentive one. She is the let's get this done, no nonsense type of personality. She is the person that if you get angry, there is no way you're putting that genie back into a bottle anytime
That
soon.
Jack is not going back in the box.
Nope, cut you to the white meat. Like that is Catherine.
Yeah, you fucked up bad if Catherine is coming out to tell you what the fuck's up.
Yeah, to
And,
play.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
it's not play. Play is not the word I would use for Catherine.
Yeah.
Catherine's cutting you down to size and then some.
So we don't let her out at all, as I try really hard not to. So if I'm at that Catherine point, I'm generally saying, I might be saying something that I might regret later. I might not be saying something that I might regret later, but I'm generally saying something because somebody has pushed me over an edge.
Yeah, tolerate fool she does not.
Nope, not at all. So yeah, I'm so glad you're picking the girl with the split personalities.
That was the undertone of what I was saying, but I was not going to put it out there on the surface. But thank you for doing it because it makes my choice that much more
cohesive.
Yes, yeah.
That's all right. I'm sure my wed makes a lot more cohesive sense too, because I picked Chaz or Clayton Roner.
Oh no,
the dorky video guy with some hidden sex appeal. You're laughing very nervously.
Yes, because
you're turning red.
I'm glad that I have. I know that anything I have like that would be hidden, but the fact that I have hidden sex appeal is always just a nice surprise.
Yes, your voice is one of those things that's not quite so hidden.
Indeed.
Yes.
Come closer to the microphone.
No, now you just sound like a creeper.
Oh yeah, you're right. I sound like what's his name? Who was the one who used to call his victims after the fact? No, he would whisper. Was it Golden State or was it? Yeah, it was Golden State who would call and he would whisper things to people after he had attacked them. So
I'm so glad that you now know all of your serial killers.
I thank you. It wasn't due to my own studies. This is knowing you.
No, that's not true. You listen to podcasts now that are all criminal, like most of them are criminal related.
That is true. That is true.
A ton of them are.
But that was not prior to being involved with you and listening to and watching all of the different documentaries on every type of killer out there from the beginning of recorded history.
I fall asleep to it. I need something to fall asleep to.
Yes, this is the kind of thing that lulls Joelle to sleep is Bundy and Gacy and...
Well, my theory is that the more that you know, the more that you're able to either, number one, identify clues that might go ahead and think that you're in bed with a serial killer, right? So, and number two, I think knowledge does equal power to a sense, and you're able to go ahead and capture people like that. So the more that you think like a criminal, the more that you're able to capture criminals.
And the better it is to work with the police like you do. And for some context, by the way, Joelle is a PhD student in criminology.
We all know this already.
No,
We're
some
done.
might not know that you're a
No, I'm not
criminologist.
in criminology. It's my PhD is international crime and justice. Thank you.
Yes. But you're basically a criminologist.
Yes.
Yes.
But
and that's why these things, though you were fascinated beforehand, it's why you study them. Not that everyone who studies them is going into the field.
No, not necessarily. I wasn't a criminologist when I was studying them at 13 and reading all about the Zodiac Killer.
No, you were just frightening. You probably terrified a lot of your friends' parents.
I definitely did not terrify my own mother, who went and took me to go ahead and get all of those books with like pictures in the middle. If they didn't have the pictures in the middle, I didn't want them. Are you dying?
Yes. Sorry.
Dying?
The fact that you were encouraged. Not only did you demand the picture books, but that was encouraged.
What?
And I just imagine you at a friend's house and the Zodiac book falling out on the floor.
It really didn't. I mean, I was an only child. I just read a lot, so I would read that probably as I was going to sleep. Kind of honestly.
That wasn't part of the concern that you were up there by yourself as an only child reading serial killer books at 13.
It really wasn't. I don't know. Well, I was interested in the law and all of those things. I went to law camp when I was 13. I was working at the state attorney's office when I was 13.
That's the balance.
I actually think I was reading serial killer books earlier. I just remember Zodiac as one of them because I remember the yellow cover that came out at that time. John Wayne Gacy was another one. I think that one was called Portrait of a Serial Killer or something.
So nobody interpreted what you did to your cat's whiskers as torturing animals then and thinking you were some type of...
You're an asshole. I was preening the cat. I wasn't trying to torture the cat. I think intent really matters
And
there.
this was way before 13. You were much, much younger.
Not that much younger.
Oh, no.
I think maybe I was 11.
Look, I was trying to give you some room there with that.
No, I was... Now I have to explain the story because people are going to think that I'm crazy.
I mean, I can edit it out for you.
No. When I was 11, I'll just explain it. When I was 11, I had a cat, and the cat had really long whiskers. And I was not aware that the reason why, do you know why cats have really long whiskers? I mean, I do now as an adult,
Yeah,
but I didn't know as a kid.
No.
Right. So as a kid, I did not know that whiskers, the lengths of the cat's whiskers are their feelers out into the world.
Yeah, it's the width of their body.
And it's right, and it's the width of their body. So the whiskers help them determine in the dark whether or not they're going to fit into an area very quickly. So they're nerve endings, okay? Well, my cat just had really long whiskers. And I did this a couple of times. And to be fair, my parents did not notice, which was very odd because they never admonished me for it. Or they didn't tell me about it or whatever. So my cat had really long whiskers, and I was like, oh my God, the cat's hair is getting too long. Like, this is bad. I need to make sure that I cut the whiskers to make sure that
You were just trying to make sure your cat was well groomed.
I was actually. I was being anal retentive about my cat's whiskers.
How short?
And I cut the whiskers. I didn't cut the whiskers all the way down because that wouldn't look natural, right? So I cut probably 2 inches off on each side.
Did the cat keep walking into walls?
The cat looked a little dizzy afterwards.
Walk in circles. Oh.
The cat didn't walk in circles. You're putting words in my mouth. But the cat definitely looked a little odd, like he was a little bit mad. But Maverick was the best because he used to wake me up in the morning. So I was just really trying to take care of the cat. I wasn't torturing the cat. God, why do I have to explain to you why I'm not a serial killer?
Well, I'd be the last to know.
You shouldn't be the last to know. They're never the last to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
damn
They know
lie.
they're just in denial,
Correct.
typically, and
All
usually
women
it's
know.
abusive. So
Exactly. They all have an inclination of why.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're actually not abusive. In their actual normal everyday life, they are very sweet and loving. They're generally not abusive people because that would clue off that something was wrong with them.
Yeah, Bundy's girlfriend,
So
he was
no.
always super nice to her. So
He was. So yeah, there's nope. Not really. There might have been an anger outburst or something, but it really wasn't an abusive relationship.
Well, I'm glad we've talked a lot about April Fool's Day.
Well, we were just doing Mary Beds at oh yeah, I said my wed. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I love it. We're finding out more and more that generally we're going to marry people.
Who are just like the person that we married.
I guess. Yay.
So, April Fool's Day, if you haven't listened to our episode, it's pretty fun. We give a lot of details about it out there. But I found out a new detail that I didn't know, that in the Swedish version that was originally released, they cut out all the violence.
What?
They just, any scene that was violent would...
dead body violent or violence?
I'm not 100% sure about exactly what was cut, but basically characters would just disappear for no reason. And so,
that would be very confusing.
Yeah, it made absolutely no sense, apparently, the way it was censored. So I don't know if this was standard Swedish practice, or if it was just this film in particular, or if they had some kind of film code where they had to cut out certain types of sequences. But yeah, it sounds extremely weird.
That's very odd. Yeah, let's segue into the next section. So we have a new section for the minisode, and I thought it'd be fun.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is called...
I picked an easy one for the first
Okay,
jab.
I was going to say, I think this game is called Let's Make Our Husband Look Like a Fool.
I just had it as Stump the Movie Guy, personally.
He thinks he knows so much. But
okay, so let's be real. Let's back up. So we're like, okay, what else can we do for this minisode, right? Other than talk about a movie that we reviewed or wrap up any loose ends regarding that movie. So I was like, all right, we're big into trivia. We like to watch Jeopardy and Cash Cab and all those nerdy
pub
things.
Trivia.
Yeah, all those nerdy things.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we just need a little trivia segment. And I just figured if I asked, should I ask you more than one question? I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. What do I win?
Me.
Well, no, you're right. I need to continually win you.
That's
Just
right.
winning you once is not enough.
That's right.
Yep.
Appropriate answer.
It is a ongoing challenge.
All right. So I have one that's topical.
Okay.
Oh God, these are so easy. So, and I'm cheesy. And this is easy, and this is from movie.
Are you easy?
Yeah. No comment. And these are movie trivia
Amanda.
cards that I bought online. So
Okay.
they're not things that I came up with because I would never ask you super easy questions like this.
No softball questions from you.
Oh, I know, but this is a softball question that I'm about to ask you. Are you ready for Stump the Movie Guy?
Wasn't there a game show once called like Stump the Geeks or Beat the Geeks or something?
I have no idea.
Do you have what it takes to beat the geeks?
But my question is, in the motion picture Batman, who played the original Joker?
I'm going to give the audience a moment to think about this.
Are you?
Do I have like lifelines? Can I call out
No,
to
you
people?
cannot. This is not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or the Cash Cab. This is Jeopardy, bitch.
No street question?
This is Jeopardy, but you do not have to frame your answer in the form of a question.
All right. Well, that would be the cuckoo who flew over the nest. That would be Jack Nicholson.
Love that Joker.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
You're right. Yay.
All pranks and no work makes the Joker a dull boy or something.
Something. That's for damn sure. All right. And this is really the question I was going to go ahead and give you for today.
Okay.
Because it was Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. In Gremlins, what is the name of the cute little Mogwai given to Billy?
Well, I love that you asked this question knowing that you had a doll of this creature and you threw it away because you hate everything about the Gremlins, even though you've never actually seen the movie.
No, I have seen the movie. I saw it in the theater.
Oh, I thought you had never seen it for some
No,
reason.
I saw it, but whenever it came out, I was too fucking young, dude.
Yeah,
I was way too young to be seeing the goddamn Gremlins.
And this is one of those 80s movies where you're like, this is a kid's movie?
Like, I blacked that shit out of my brain. My brain does not hold on to the Gremlins.
The Gremlins are seriously terrifying, too. Even as an older child or an adult, Gremlin is pretty horrifying. Now, Gremlins 2 is just bizarre. But
Listen, this came out in 84.
it did.
Right? I would have been 7. There should be no... I understand that it's PG, but there should be no way that a 7-year-old is watching goddamn Gremlins.
Even the creepy-ass story that Phoebe Cates tells about how her father died, dressed up as Santa Claus, falling down the chimney, is terrifying to a 7-year-old.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I blanked it out.
Yeah.
So
probably
so
a good
what?
idea.
So what is the name? Oh my God! It's like Crazy Town.
Yeah, the printer that you hit this like half an hour ago, and
It's
suddenly
not
the
going.
printer's...
So yes. So what is the name of the? Oh my God! No, don't do it. Of the cute little Mogwai given to Billy.
Gizmo!
It is Gizmo.
Or as they say in the film, Gizmo Caca.
What?
That's what one of the evil gremlins says when they hate Gizmo and want to kill him.
Oh, random.
Yeah, it's a vicious movie, and the scene in the kitchen is utterly horrifying, even now.
Gremlins, gremlins, bite after bite. What a tasty way to satisfy a gremlin appetite.
Gremlins is a deliciously sweet, crunchy cereal that satisfies the hungry little gremlin that's in all of us.
Watching them kill gremlins with kitchen implements and appliances.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nor should you really. And I know it's going to be in the theater here sometime soon, but I just think like maybe it might be a trigger for you, and you might go like all full gremlin on us. And
well, there's two horror movies in my life that I'm very afraid of watching.
Mm-hmm.
One is Gremlins, and so when I had that cute little Gizmo, my dad got it for me. He thought I would love it because everybody loved Gizmo at that time, right? Because that's the cute gremlin. And, while just trying to get the printer.
Yeah, so you got a cat that basically looks like Gizmo here.
No, my cutie does not look like Gizmo. Stop it. So I would hide the Gizmo underneath my bed, in the middle of my bed.
So you really did have monsters under your bed.
Listen, at some point, it wasn't enough that I just hid him under the bed. So my 7-year-old self, we were living in an apartment complex at the time, and the trash chute was on the opposite side of where our apartment was.
This can only go one way. We already know where this is going.
I mean, I know exactly where it's going. And
Straight to the
sorry,
dumpster.
Dad, I don't know if you know what happened to Gizmo. I don't think you listened to this, but nobody bust me to my dad. But pretty much, I was so freaked out by that Gizmo that it was going to turn into a gremlin that I wanted nothing to do with that Gizmo. any longer. It freaked me out so bad and it gave me nightmares that I took that gizmo and I walked it all the way to the opposite end of my apartment complex. And I threw it in the trash chute because I was so freaked out. So that is why I do not watch the Gremlins.
But what if it's like Toy Story and they're really alive and you dumped it all the way into the dumpster?
Well, if it was made by John Lasseter, then I would dump it in the goddamn dumpster because he's a fucking
fuck.
goddamn misogynistic, patriarchal piece of shit.
Indeed. Sorry, Pixar lovers. Go into a little Lasseter research. It is the sad, sad truth. I still like Wall-E, though.
I mean, you guys can like anything all day, but I'm telling you, I'm not down with the culture he created.
No, and we find out that it happens more often than not. Uber, for all you Uber users, for example, similar issues.
Yes, folks. Do your research. I mean, what happens when you start doing your research, though, I'm going to be quite honest with you, is that all of a sudden you can no longer shop or eat in a ton of places.
Yeah, when you start finding out who your favorite shops or large companies fund and support politically, and yeah, you run into a lot of problems with where you can no longer go. Not that that's a bad thing that you have educated yourself, though it does prove that the adage of ignorance is bliss is very, very true.
Right.
But yes, it's sometimes pretty horrifying what you find out. And
so is that
depressing.
Gizmo.
So, yes.
And so is that Gizmo. So I felt thoroughly depressed and repressed. Oh, so I think they took me to see it in the theaters, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And because I went to the theaters to see this. I don't even remember. Like, I blinked that out so bad. So bad. So I've never seen the Gremlins since then, ever. If I see anything Gremlins like or whatever, I'm totally freaked out. And the other movie is Piranha, because I think it was at around the same age.
You saw Piranha in the theater?
Piranha. They're here. They're hungry. They'll eat you alive. Who can stop them?
No, I was supposed to be in bed and my parents were watching Piranha.
Yeah.
And I saw a scene when I was going to the bathroom.
Was it one of the eating
it was
scenes?
One of the
frenzy?
It was a frenzied scene, right? And I know it's supposed to be in a lake or something.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I kept having... And I had them, it was a recurring nightmare. I kept having piranha nightmares.
Oh, God.
But it was like I was in tall grass and I didn't realize it was a lake or some shit like that. Like it was like an Everglades type situation.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that it was a lake with piranhas in it.
Well, the Everglades has got its own set of
okay, I
things
know.
with teeth
And it would
that'll take you
never,
under.
and it wouldn't be in the Everglades.
No.
Right. But what I'm saying to you is that, yes, my like 7 or 8 year old mind like hung on to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I can't watch piranhas either. I can watch shark movies all day and I cannot watch piranhas and I cannot watch, I almost said Jaws, and I can't watch Gremlins.
Well, you know, piranhas are kind of like the gremlins of the water. And if Gizmo had fallen into the Everglades, maybe he would have spawned water-like gremlins.
Please don't give me nightmares. Please don't give me nightmares, you asshole. You're taking way too much joy in this right now.
Well, you know the proper way to dispose of a mogwai is you have to cut off its head and bury it at least a mile away from the body.
What?
Yeah, that way it'll never turn into a gremlin.
What are you talking about? Oh my God. Haunted ass shit. Here it goes again. Here goes my killer cat.
Yes, Walter thinks that the printer is attacking us, and oh, Jesus Christ, he's going to pull down. Walter almost brought the podcast equipment crashing to the floor, bringing this recording to a crashing halt.
Which is probably what it should be doing anyway.
So, were there any other movies as a child that we know there are movies you saw like sleepovers and things like April Fool's Day that
Correct.
you shouldn't have seen?
Sleepover and Fool.
But were there any other like Halloween movies? Like we would go over to friends' houses and we would watch things like we watched Halloween at a friend's house on Halloween.
No. So scary movies, and maybe this is because of April Fool's Day and Gremlins. I wasn't really big into scary movies. I got into scary movies like later on. So with my ex, I actually watched all of Halloween, like all the Halloweens. And I've watched.
Wait, all the Halloweens?
Yeah, Michael Myers.
Yeah, but I mean, all of it as of which date? Because there's now so many of them.
I mean, I can remember at least 5 or 6.
Oh, Jesus. So you even saw Halloween 3, which is the
Yeah.
witches that has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Correct. Yeah, but like I haven't seen any of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
What's the other one? Camp Crystal Lake.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Or sorry,
Friday
the
13th.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any Friday the 13th.
Mm.
What's another big one? No Chucky, no Leprechaun.
Although you, since you make stuff with beads, you know the I needs me beads.
I do know I needs me beads, which is really weird. But all of these things. So I just saw Children of the Corn last year, right? Because we saw it. I don't think I've ever seen the whole. Stephen King, I'm also very deficient in.
Yeah, because we saw Christine for the first time last year.
For the first time, and
You did.
Firestarter.
And Firestarter. Yeah, which we haven't done a review of either Firestarter or
Christine.
Children of the Corn, so we're going to have to do those.
Children of the Corn. We did Christine.
I'm sorry, of...
No, I was saying it. You said it right.
Yeah.
And like Pet Cemetery, I've never seen. I do remember watching the special on TV.
Yeah, the TV version of it.
But like in between peeking, like I'm scared. I don't know if I want to watch this.
Sorry, when you say in between peeking, I thought you were like saying you were on something when you were watching it, which would be a really bad idea, especially for you.
No, I was like, how old was I?
Yeah, I know.
So ridiculous. No.
Hey, what's his name? Kirk Douglas's son, we just found out, was snorting coke at like 11, so...
Well, listen, people, different strokes for different
I was going to say,
folks.
your parents also were not multi-mega generational movie stars.
Right. So, yeah. So, I wasn't really exposed to a lot of scary movies.
So, yeah, your horror movie repertoire is actually pretty deficient. It's pretty lacking.
Yeah. It is.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
yeah.
true horror. I mean, I saw things like as an adult, I like scary movies. I like being scared in an odd way.
Yeah, you've seen all the Saw stuff.
I did see all the Saw stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, it starts not bugging me anymore.
Well, I think what you find with the older ones is because they really at the time could not show the same level of gore, and they were gory, but they're not quite as sadistic as something like Saw. They have their moments, but you see the roots of a lot of the modern horror films you can see coming from, even if you go as far back as like the Universal monsters and things like that, you can see where there has been a progression and evolution of horror and...
of what? Horror.
Horror. Of horror. There's actually a really interesting section in Ed Wood where
oh my god, again another movie
where Bela Lugosi's character is talking about how the old movies how the horror was different, and he's basically saying they were more psychological, and they had to be because you weren't allowed to show as much at the time. But I would say that yeah, I think you would actually enjoy some of the old horror because they're not the same, but you can see where they're the roots of a lot of the current stuff.
I have no problem watching horror movies now,
Yeah.
but I mean, it just was not appropriate at the time in which I was watching it.
No, it wasn't. And honestly, I think if you don't see Gremlins again, you're going to be all right.
I don't know. I feel like I missed out on something.
Or do you feel like you need to do like immersion therapy? Like we need to close you in a small room
at some
and
point
have you watch Gremlins?
at some point I DVR'd Piranha, and then I just erased it recently because I'm never fucking watching this shit.
You're like, I live too close to lots of water in a hurricane-prone
fuck
place.
that noise.
This is why you're never going to see that Crawl movie with the alligators attacking the people.
Probably not. Like alligator snakes. Like no, I'm able to watch shark movies and do like Shark Week and things like that, but it has to be like if it's during summer, which Shark Week generally falls into, like I have to watch it and maybe not go to the beach, or if I'm going to the beach, I'm definitely looking weary at the water for a couple of weeks.
Well, you also always check like the Shark Tracker app before you go to the beach.
I do.
To see if there's been any sharks.
Sightings.
Yep, any of the ones that they're following anyway.
Exactly. And what's the other thing that I do? Oh yeah, I always make sure that there's somebody else out further than me.
Yes, make sure someone is swimming further. Yeah.
Bait.
Well, and the truth is, as climate changes, for whatever reason people want to blame it on, the sharks have moved
because we're killing the earth.
pretty much. And the shark attacks have increased. Not that they haven't been shark attacks back to, again, beginning of recorded history, but they have definitely increased as things shift and change and food supplies change. Those things are going to occur. And so, yeah, shark attacks, I know there were several major ones this summer here on Florida's coast.
Well, if you think about the rate in which the number of people in comparison to the number of shark attacks, they actually really aren't high, truthfully.
Now, what about Lake Placid?
I didn't see that shit.
Okay, because it had Betty White in it, and she kind of helps balance it out.
No, I didn't see that shit.
Especially to hear her say something like, "I hope it eats all you fuckers."
Oh, no, didn't see it.
Yeah, she's great. You just need to watch the clip of her saying that.
Yeah, so happy Halloween. I
Yes.
apparently need to see more horror movies.
Yes, horror.
Horror.
We need to see more horror movies.
Although I watch all the serial killer things all day long.
Which, honestly, I think a lot of people who can watch a Freddy or a Jason probably really can't watch to the in-depth descriptions of things that people like Bundy or Rollins or some of these people actually did. I think that's much more terrifying to people and disturbing.
It's not terrifying to me at all.
Well, that's because you have desensitized yourself.
Oh, wait. Reverse. It's not it's terrifying what they did, and it's horrible, but that also happening to you is also very rare.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not dumb, and if you have situational awareness, you are less, and you use your brain a little bit and you trust your spidey senses, you are less likely to be involved in a situation like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
not to say that I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying, like, being aware and understanding what they're looking for is actually helping to protect you from being attacked.
Well, and at the time, there wasn't a lot of research or study into serial killers, so people didn't often know. It's sad that we say that sometimes being polite is what gets you into trouble, because I don't want to tell people not to be nice, but in a lot of those cases, it was very much a...
SSDGM, dude. Stay sexy and don't get married. Fuck politeness, according to MFM.
It's very much the Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs, the helping of that was Bundy's trick, was the hurt arm. I'm helping, help me get something into my car.
Hell to the now.
But at the time, people weren't as heavily exposed to it. So unfortunately, the victims their situational awareness was based on their reality at the time. And looking back at it, we can go like, what the fuck were you doing? But given the time they lived in, they just didn't have the same exposure and fear level of some of those types of things and suspicion. And it's unfortunate that that's the world that we actually live in, but it is.
It is.
And again, not that levels have increased, we just are more aware of it at this point.
Correct. Well, DNA too. It helps.
Yeah. So if you're interested in more discussion of crime, definitely listen to... Oh, no, we can't talk about that yet. Sorry. I'm going to cut that part out.
Oh, no, you can. You can talk about it because it's going to get released right after.
Okay, we have something new and fun coming up. Joelle.
Yeah, tomorrow. It's... oh, no, not tomorrow. It's like in a week. We are dropping our You Haven't Seen What? Crime Files. So that's going to be really interesting. We're reviewing crime movies and discussing relation to the criminal justice system and what themes and what, social construction frameworks are being presented and symbolic interactions are being presented. If that sounds a little too academic, it's not really. We just kind of discuss why you might want to ask more questions about what you're watching and where you're getting your media and things like that, but also still talking about movies.
Yes. We'll still, discuss the movie and our favorite things about them, but it'll definitely be tied into, into the relationship between the public and the criminal justice system, and anything from prisons to serial killers, and really the whole range is what we'll be looking at. Anything that from something silly and fun to like Clue, all the way to, prison movies like Shawshank Redemption.
Right. So that's coming out on the 13th of November. So you'll see them if you are subscribing, which you should. You'll actually have them pop up pretty quickly and you'll be like, what? New episodes? Several? Oh my gosh. So that'll be great to actually happen and see.
Yeah. So check it out. Coming in like a week.
13th. No, a little bit more.
Couple weeks.
2 weeks.
Sorry. So coming on the 13th. It's not a Friday the 13th, is it? Unfortunately,
No, it's a Wednesday.
Okay. But yep, that's when new episodes are coming, and listen throughout the future here for not only You Haven't Seen What and You Haven't Seen What minisodes, but for You Haven't Seen What the
Crime Files. Dun dun dun.
Dun 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 dun.
No, it doesn't need the extra dun 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 dun.
Okay. I was trying to give it a little dramatic effect and use my deeper voice to do the dun dun dun.
No, you have to have the last word, and it drives me nuts. It does.
I'm going to shut up now.
Exactly. So please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast so that you can always find us and that other people can find us as well. Check out our website at youhaven'tseenwhatmovie.com and follow us on our social media, Insta, Facebook, Twitter at You Haven't Seen What Movie. And yeah, comment on how horrible I am to my husband sometimes. I don't know. Let me know. Drop a line. Or how not horrible I am. I don't know.
Oh, I thought I wasn't allowed to talk yet.
That's right. You should be seen and not heard. Obviously, your parents had never told you that shit.
Not a good premise for a podcast, though.
I mean, it's not a good premise for a podcast, but I can definitely tell who was told children should be seen and not heard.
That was not me.
That was not you. Your sister can attest to that.
Mine was touch everything because tactile is good. You should understand the world through your fingers.
You touch it, you break it, you buy it. What is the problem?
Yes, that was definitely a huge difference in how we were raised.
Completely. No touching. Buying it, you have money, you're not touching it. Oh, God, I can't. It obsessed me so much when you touch things in the store. I can't even talk about it.
Well, I'm glad we're married because then I get to touch you.
There you go. Why? Because you bought me? No,
that's not what I meant. Oh, that came out wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, you bought the black woman.
No, this is not the
you bought the Asian. It's bad. It's all bad, no matter how you want to slice that. So I think on this we should say,
this is not chattel.
Should say, remember.
Oh boy, there's no recovering from this.
Remember.
Be kind.
Rewind.
I wish I could rewind to change that.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Last word, really?
No. I mean...
Care for Gizmo, imagine he's your pet. It's fun to care for Gizmo and never getting wet. Never can make sure to keep him out of the light and never feed him after midnight. Yes, never. It's fun to care for Gizmo. He's a lovable pet.
I'll take care of you, Gizmo.
He's a lovable pet.